about your age, we used to summertime go camping a lot, and these guys always, they weren't all, they were typical boys, and they had their fishing poles and their 22 rifles, and we would go and camp, and most of these guys would get cigarettes or smoke Indian tobacco, roll it up. It was wild tobacco, and make their own cigarettes and smoke them, and while they were fishing, and think that was really smart. And they kept after me to smoke with them, and I decided I was about 15 then, and next time they asked me, I'll smoke. Well, they didn't. Maybe I was 14 and a half. They never again asked me to smoke, and when I was 16, I went away to California from Arizona and went to academy there. And the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had to work, we went to school a half a day and then worked on jobs the other half day. And my job, the first year, was working, hoeing tomatoes and working on the farm. And then I had a chance, there was about 20 boys, and they had an old Jeep with a flatbed on. And one day, boys, one of them said, if we jump up and down in unison, we can break this Jeep down, and then we won't have to go to work. So they all got jumping out. Sure enough, the frame of the Jeep busted right in two. And so then the farm manager went down to the garage and said, I gotta have another Jeep, and they could buy an old military Jeep that wasn't running for $25. Well, he said, all I need is someone to take the engine out of, the good engine out of my wreck Jeep and put over into this other one. And the mechanic at the garage had two boys working for him, and he said, I'm so overworked and snowed in, I don't have anybody to do that, and have you got one of your boys that would be able to do that? And so I volunteered, and because I'd worked in a garage and as a parts cleaning boy in Cottonwood, Arizona, and so I volunteered and I changed the engine, and from then on I stayed in the garage because I liked that a lot better than hoeing weeds. And that was my start in the school garage. And then they got 6 more Jeeps, and I got to pull the engines out, and we rebuild them and put them back in, and change the tires and everything. And it was one time, this was 3 years later, starting in my senior year, I took the Jeep tire. It was had a metal rim inside, so that when they got shot through the tire, the wheel wouldn't go flat, and called a battle rim. And it was my job to take those out, and so I thought, well, maybe if I put a lot of air in, I could expand the wheel, and I was standing on it and put a lot of air, and it tube blew up and blew me up in the air over a gas pump, and I come down hands first and broke these bones here, and so this one is sticking out through the skin here, and split this ankle and tore the ligaments off of this one. So
I don't think he did that again, do you?
no, you got to be very careful when with air pressure. You know that air is what takes to stop a train. Air brakes, and that's what we have on these big trucks to stop them. You can get tremendous pressure with air and do a lot of damage. Anyway, that's what happened to me, and
Let's go back to your grade school.